please. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call, please.
Mayor Hassler.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Alderman Mooney.
Here.
Alderman Donovan.
Here.
Alderman Jokers.
Here.
Alderman Jones.
Here.
Alderman Stupi.
Here.
Alderman Prince.
Here.
Alderman Rozika. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Very good. I'd like to look at your agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Well, down to personal appearances, and I had Rob. So I've been kind of my fault, but he's supposed to be here tonight, but he thought the meeting was last week, and we've been kind of out of whack with it. He was here last week, but nobody else was. So, but hopefully he'll show up, and maybe he's got something going on or something. But we'll just move on with Martin's report.
Maybe he's chasing a wild skunk.
Could be. No.
So I had a meeting with the county, the engineer, and MRV Bank regarding the water tank design, and everybody was on the same page. Of course, we're not going to question the engineer's tank design, but there was a lot of discussion about the access road and where it should be and how we should handle that, and we all kind of agreed on that. We opened I received the lease purchase contract agreement from MRV Bank finally, and I forwarded it to Mark, but he just got it yesterday, and he's been looking at it today, so we didn't get it in time to get it on the agenda. We will have it ready for your consideration at our next meeting, and I'll request that we have 2 readings because the engineer's been working for 2 months with no pay, so it's we had the bid opening for the paving. You see the prices here. You have an item on your agenda to award that contract to Joker's Paving, who, as you recall, did the Lynn Street improvements last year. So we have a good working relationship. We would have a good working relationship with either of those firms. David Bova, who is a school board member, as it turns out, applied for the job of Community Development Administrator. We had a nice interview. I explained as much detail as I could, and was kind of curious about why he would be interested in the position, as he was a store manager for Kohl's, with like 100 employees, and he said, well, he just couldn't do that any longer, so he'd resigned from that voluntarily, and was working with his uncle on home remodeling, and was ready to do community service because he thought he would enjoy it. So we've agreed on pay, and he'll be coming on board on the 23rd, 25th, 20-something.
25th.
I'm still looking for a part-time building inspector. Word of mouth has not produced anyone, so we're running an ad Monday for the position. I've also talked at the last levy board meeting. They were talking about hiring somebody, but they just don't have enough work for a full-time position, and they couldn't find qualified people for part-time, and I just suggested they consider it. And I would have to come back to you for this, I think, but if we could make this position full-time, enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the levy district for 16 hours a week, and then have a contract where they would compensate us for the hours that, make it a 40-hour job, but 16 of those hours would be we would be reimbursed by the levy district. So they're considering that now, and they'll let us know.
Whose benefits would he fall under the?
He'd be our full-time employee,
Gotcha.
and we'd have to charge them accordingly. So it wouldn't just be his hourly rate. We'd have a benefits calculation as
Do you
well.
still want to run the ad then Monday, not knowing
Yeah,
if it's full-time or part-time?
Well, I'm not going to hire until they've made a decision. You want to put it off? Can you withdraw it Monday or today? Tomorrow.
I'm asking you.
Well, I know.
Because if you're advertising for a part-time,
Yeah, I know.
and
Yeah, let's pull
you
it
may
off.
want a full-time.
Okay, delay it.
Where would he be? How is that? Here?
here. And then when he worked there, they've got the pump house building. That's where he would be, working, exercising the pumps and servicing the generator and patrolling and policing the levee.
I think it'd be an advantage for us because we'd have somebody that we can connect to. Right now, the levee board stands on its own, which is, and all those guys do. At least we'd be connected and have somebody that I feel good about it, to have, knowing that
Yeah.
at least we'd have somebody to blame if there's a problem, other than the mayor.
We don't have to pay for fixing it either.
Yeah.
Well, we do in our
Yeah.
taxes or whatever.
Yeah, doing that anyway,
Yeah.
so. But that's got to be agreed by the levee board, so.
Yeah,
you know.
sounds good.
Okay, you're aware that Chauncey, at Seymour Regional Planning, managed our TIF accounting and reporting. So we really didn't do a lot in terms of keeping up with the Valley Spring TIF documentation because he took care of it. Leslie Seabaugh in his office takes care of it now. Obviously, she has the downtown TIF, not the Valley Springs TIF. And the numbers just weren't like working for me. And so I asked her to come in, and we had a conference with Sue. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but there are two elements to this. One is the pallets, which is the real estate tax, and the other is the eats, which is the sales tax. And under our TIF, that the entire district's base has to be met before any individual project can receive a distribution. And since we devalued the Lucent building, the assessor has, and the major properties have been taken off the tax roll since 2012, the bank building and Tim Conley's house, and the TIF district real estate values, it's not making and won't make probably the base. The sales tax is making it, and while the individual projects are doing very well relative to the base, they have to be balanced out by the entire sales tax collections in the district. And while they're up a little bit, about 6% on average for the last 4 years, it's not a lot of money. And so I was talking to somebody who wants to do a project in St. Genevieve, a knowledgeable person, and he was talking to me about the TIF, and I was explaining the situation to him, and he broached the prospect of reevaluating the TIF document and maybe redefining the boundaries to get those either properties that are now in the hands of not-for-profit or a building that is really dragging down the average out of the TIF. And I know it can be done. Whether you want to do it remains a question. So he's going to come to our next meeting and talk about it, and we can consider it. And he'll consult with Gilmore Bell between now and then to ensure that there's a way to do it before he proposes it. I kind of polled you on questions before about compensating employees who get certified in certain areas, and about the firearms carry. You now have those revisions, proposed revisions to the personnel policy in your packet for consideration tonight. I actually met with a developer who looked at the property and expressed some interest in pursuing the plan on the Progress Park Drive proposal. He's out of town for 2 weeks and told me he would get back to looking at it and analyzing it and get back to me. So there may be some interest in pursuing that. Finally, I contracted with the appraiser to give us an evaluation of the value of the property at 5 Industrial Drive. Any questions? Thanks. I promised Joe I would not go too long.
That Joe, I tell you what.
They're waiting to introduce the new officer. Do you want to do that?
What's that?
They're wanting to introduce the new officer. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can
So
do
we
that.
can
Let's do that. Where's, there he is. I see him now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
assuming I heard that correctly.
You did.
Okay. This is Joseph Goldsmith. He's from Perryville. You can come on over.
Yeah.
He's been on a few weeks now. We hired him directly out of the academy, him and Bradley Osborne, who is not working tonight, but we're happy to have him. He's doing a good job so far, so if you guys have any questions, I'm sure he'd love to answer them.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Smith.
Kenny
Smith.
Steiger is in the house tonight. Good to see you, brother.
I get them confused. There's two.
Did Martin finish?
Martin, you finished, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you have any questions for Martin?
No.
Okay.
Well, I do have one question.
Well, go ahead and ask it.
I read in the paper that the county commissioner said that there had been some tweaking to the deal with the water tower. Do you know what he's referring to in the tweaking?
In the original proposal, well, we originally met and they agreed on a 3.9% interest rate and provided me with a 20% amortization, 20-year amortization that showed 3.9% for the first 5 years and 5% for the next 5 years. And we'd have to renegotiate after 10 years. So when I got the agreement, it didn't say that. And so I went back to him and said, look, this is what I understood. Oh, you misunderstood. That amortization was just a model amortization. It wasn't intended to be a loan commitment. I said, well, that wasn't made clear to me, and I informed the board that these were the terms. And, you know, I can go back and explain to them that there was an error, but I think that's unfair. I said, okay, we'll do that. So that's what it ended up being. It ends up being exactly what I told you it was going to be.
Good job.
Good evening, everybody. Should have a copy of the report in front of you. We didn't have a whole lot to report on this month. It was a slow month for PR and things like that. We did finish all our vehicle maintenance, and now we're starting on some building maintenance items, taking care of a few things around the firehouse. As you see in the notes there, I did put on there that we are, as the new truck progresses, trying to put pictures of it on Facebook so everybody can see the progress. And I did bring a couple of copies of the latest pictures if you guys want to take a look at progress on the truck right now. So anybody wants to see the progress on the truck, if they hop on St. Gen Fire Facebook page, we're trying to post them. I'm trying to get pictures every week of progress as they come, so people can keep an eye on how it's going.
Passenger cab is that?
It'll be a 4-man cab. That's standard now. What we're finding out now is, in the days of old, we did the 2-man cabs, and when we get there, we only have 2 guys. We really don't have a lot of people to work with, and this is a standard cab for that type of truck. So hopefully in the future, we can have more guys riding down the truck, get there with the truck, and be able to get 2 or 3 guys working right away. Any questions?
Where's that shot at?
That's a rear door looking forward.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you should have top and bottom and side and whatever. All right. Yeah, that's pretty neat. All leather seating, I guess.
No, it's all cloth and metal with rubber matting on the floors.
What chassis is it?
This is a Rosenbauer Commander chassis.
I guess motor, drivetrain, whatever.
It's going to be a Cummins motor with an Allison transmission and a Rockwell. I believe it's a Rockwell rear end.
Right. That's a single axle in the rear.
Correct.
Right?
Single axle.
Single axle. It means there's one axle.
Pretty cool looking.
A little bit more than 7
Double axle.
Yeah. These are custom made from the ground up. They actually started with the axles and the chassis frame rails, and they built it from that all the way up. Within the next week or 2, I'm being told it should go to the aerial plant and get the ladder mounted to it, and that'll take a few weeks, and once that gets done, then it'll be shipped back to Minnesota where they put the box on it, and then we'll be making a trip up July or August to look at it before they paint it, make sure everything's being built correctly.
Yeah.
This is the front.
That's the front of it.
So it's not going to be red?
Yes, it's going to be red.
This is the side.
We like the traditional red.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
See, there's one.
Look at there.
Yeah. You can step up.
Why is the fire truck red?
It's eye-catching.
Stop.
There've been a lot of studies over the years. There've been all kinds of different colors. Back in the 70s, believe it or not, they had a big phase of what was best seen. So that's why if you travel around, you see yellow fire trucks, white fire trucks. And what they found out is it's not really the color of the truck, it's the lighting package on it. What lights you have on it makes it visible, not the color of the truck.
Be careful out here, police officers like
And the obnoxious horn that's on it. That's loud.
That works too.
It's on some of our police cars too, because they'll really scare you when they're going by.
Yeah.
You're right.
You got that old style siren too?
We put one on that one. But what we're finding, and we did spend a couple of extra dollars on that because all the sirens in town, on the police cars and everything are all electronic. So we are going to start going to the wind-up mechanical that, like the old fire trucks, they get more attention, they're different, they stand out a little bit. So,
That's good stuff. Fire.
So somebody's gonna be sitting there cranking or something?
no, it's push button with batteries, thank God.
So do they offer training with the operation of that? Or?
Yeah, that's part of the contract we signed. They'll send somebody down here and we'll have an 8-hour training day with them. Plus, when we go up to the inspections, the pre-paint and the final inspection, they'll give the core group of 6 guys, myself, the assistant chief, both training officers, an 8-hour day on the truck up there in Minnesota before we bring it back too.
Yeah, that's great.
What's the warranty?
It's numerous different warranties. It's part specific. The paint warranty is, I think, 10 years. The chassis and frame rail, I think, is 25. I'd have to pull out the spec to tell you exactly which one. Drivetrain, I think, is a 5-year warranty. That, without having it in front of me, I can't tell you specifics.
Mileage doesn't matter.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's good looking.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. Got that bling in the grill there.
Maybe I'll put-
Yeah, right.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You want your pictures, or these are?
Yeah.
You can keep them or
Put 'em
pitch
in
them whenever the
files.
meeting's over.
I want to know when we get to ride around in it.
Well, ask him. See, let's know when he's gonna get it right.
When are we going to be able to ride around in it?
You wanna give him a ride?
Sure. Get it in, we'll take you for rides.
Alderman anyway, right?
Once we get it in, there will be a big open house to show the public, and we'll have an open house for the whole firehouse. They'll be able to come in, and we'll do demonstrations with landscape bill and everything. So
That'd be great.
it's going to be coming in late fall, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it when it first gets here. It may have to push off till spring when it warms up a little bit, but we do plan an open house and a blessing of the truck and everything. So there are plans being worked on.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor?
Good. Gary?
Good. Yeah.
I think the mayor should ride it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You guys might report. I don't have any show and tell for you.
You ought to have.
Been doing a lot of mowing, trying to keep up. I do have summer help now, so that helps relieve task on us. And the next couple of weeks we'll be hitting the asphalt pretty heavy, patching. Anybody questions or comments, or Joe?
You don't just,
The repairs in the park, was that from vandalism or just normal?
No, it was just refreshing it up a little bit and do a little work on. Knock on wood, we've not had problems
I haven't seen, but have you developed like a priority list on the repairs?
on the street repairs. I don't have anything in writing, I got them in my head. Park Drive is gonna be one of the first ones to get done, and,
That needs it bad.
yeah.
what's prep for the projects coming up, Ridgeway and Main, do you have to do anything?
Not a whole lot of prep,
They're already,
Yeah.
well, they're gonna do that anyway.
when we did Lynn Drive, we did, a lot of sweeping and, cleaning, but
Oh, yeah.
Main Street's gonna be pretty extensive on milling, so that'll be a cleanup as they go.
What we have been doing is ordering the risers for Steve's placed the order, so they'll show up in time to be available when the contractor's ready.
Yeah.
How do we notify the residents in an area when they're gonna do a major project like Ridgeway.
Once we get to that part, we'll go door to door, passing out papers and
And Steve's got door hangers we can use.
Yeah, that's good. You got a time frame for start to finish?
on the,
Say Bridgeway or either one?
no idea. I mean, there's not even a contract signed yet, so.
Well, the contract's before us tonight.
Yeah.
Where you had 60 days? It's the same time we have for Lynn Drive and those improvements, we didn't change that.
That went pretty quick though.
Yeah,
I remember.
they do it, they don't take any time.
That's great.
So it's a goal this year, right?
Sounds good.
Any questions?
Joe, did you have something?
30 days.
Okay.
Hey Gary, I just want to commend you on what you did for the fireworks as well. You and your crew, thanks for getting that together for us.
Yep, it's all signed, ready to go now, so.
Really appreciate that. Well done, sir.
Plenty
Yep,
of money, right?
yep, it'll be a good show.
Good, good deal.
Right,
You
thanks.
signed a 10-year deal that you're gonna do that, right?
For life. It's a
Nice try.
lifetime.
Yeah,
Good try.
there you go.
Any committee reports? Joe, have you got anything from planning and zoning? No. Oh, man. Boy,
We haven't had a meeting in,
I know it. There's nothing to plan or zone. Boy. Anybody else? Very good. Don't look like we have anybody for public comments. So before we do the consent agenda, we have to hand out our, is that the close?
Yeah, those are closed session.
I don't know what that is.
Oops.
There should be 4 on that.
You got enough? There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry, sir.
Send it back.
Thank you.
We need to approve.
Yes, we do. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
That takes care of our consent agenda. Takes us to, there's no old business, so it takes us to new business. Bill number 4224, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with Jokers Incorporated of St. Genevieve, Missouri to overlay a portion of North Main Street and Ridgeway in the amount not to exceed $63.63 per ton.
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for a second reading.
Second.
All in favor of that, the second reading?
Aye.
Aye.
Alrighty. So this will be our second reading. Bill number 4224, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with Jokers Paving Incorporated in St. Genevieve to overlay a portion of North Main Street and Ridgeway, amount not to exceed $63.63 per ton. I'll need a roll call vote. Motion to approve, I'm sorry. Got a second? Now we'll need a roll call vote.
Alderman Smith?
Yes.
Alderman Mooney? Alderman Donovan?
Yes.
Alderman Jokers?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Stupi?
Yes.
Alderman Prince?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no's, 1 absent. Bill number 4224 now becomes ordinance 4155.
Very good. It takes us to bill number 4225, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve adding section 408, continuing education, and section 714, firearms to the St. Genevieve Personnel Manual as set forth below.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Very good. Is there any other business? Any,
I got a question.
go ahead.
Where are we standing on the property maintenance issues we had been discussing?
it's the number one thing on Mr. Gova's agenda when he arrives.
I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, so am I. So-
I just think it was fair to start something and be in the middle of it and then hire the person who's responsible for it, so.
We'll probably have to revisit a lot of them just to make sure they haven't been brought up.
Oh, we will, sure.
Yeah, there's some been going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of two that they've been taking steps to.
Good thing.
Anything else?
I have a quick question. Could
Go ahead.
I ask for a work session either before the next meeting or sometime between now and then to discuss that proposition that we had discussed early on before we Mr. Bishop.
The public safety tax or police tax? Yeah. Sure, I mean, you want to do it before or after? Before we mean at 5
Before it's right better.
o'clock, yeah.
So that'd be our next meeting on the 28th, is it?
Yes, I believe so. 28th, yes, sir.
28th? Okay. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. And as we have that too, there's still out there, you know, we talked about doing some improvements here at City Hall into the police department. Or Eric, or do we have figures or
On the
remodel?
still waiting on getting a drawing for the front, and then I can get through that, and I can hope to have that by the next meeting.
That would be great, because I'd sure like to move forward on that, so.
But you just gave him a whole list of other things to do, so I could look at paying somebody to do it, but the last drawings that we had were done by Gary, so.
Were they?
He said we could get it, so,
Okay. Very good.
thank you.
Any other business? Well, if there is no other business, I'll call this meeting adjourned.
Your time.
Under 30 minutes.
I wonder what happened to Rob.
6:26.
Thank you.